Well, hello. This is my third video today. Am I stretching it? Well, my endurance is there. That's good enough, I guess. We're on another subject now. Well, it's still the transgender survival, but this is for anybody's survival, especially. Now, did you know did you know it's more dangerous in the home than anywhere in your environment? That includes Walmart and all these other places. You're at more risk in your own home. Okay, alright, well, first thing about home security, get rid of all the obstacles. All the stuff that sticks out everywhere where it shouldn't be. You know it shouldn't be there. Brooms leaning up against walls that could very easily fall out and trip you while you're walking or something if you don't realize that it fell. Things like that. I mean, alright, falls are the number one killer in the home. Alright, staircases and falls are like number two. Alright, the third is falling. You ain't gonna believe this one. Falling out of your own bed in the middle of the night. Get killed when your head hits the floor. You're a goner. I mean that. Well, it's mostly for old people for that, I think, or maybe little kids too. I'm not sure, but anyway. That sounds like a very strange way to go, don't it? He just rolled out of bed, and there he was, laying in the floor when we found him. Okay. 300 million emergency rescue workers can't be wrong, right? If they say that falling out of the bed is bad, then you shouldn't do it. Don't do it. Alright, get serious now. Yes, the home. Okay, let me get even more serious here. Now don't get laughing when I ask this, because I'm very serious when I ask you this. Are you familiar with all the sounds in your home? Have you listened to your home? Your home talks to you. It speaks to you. It tells you what's going on. Have you ever took the time to listen to your home? You know, the best time to listen to it's probably after 12 o'clock at night, maybe 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Tell you what you can do that will get you alert to your own dwelling place, your own little home. You need to listen to it. It will talk to you. Here's what you do. Pick what you consider is the centermost part of your house. It could be a great room with a kitchen attached on one end and a hallway with the bedrooms attached going the other way. Get you a comfortable chair and sit right there in the center where you can hear what the noise is coming from either side of the house equally effective. You can pick out which side of the house it come from and sit there. Now, you can't be listening to music or nothing. Don't do that. Sit there for an hour. Just make yourself sit there for an hour. You can have your eyes closed, but you just got to listen. You may hear pipes rattle in the walls. You need to know what that sounds like, if you don't already. Excuse me. If you're very quiet, you might hear a mouse nibbling somewhere on something he shouldn't be nibbling on. At least now, hey, now you know you got pests in the house if you hear that. You can learn a lot listening to your house late at night like that. I mean, you don't have to do this all the time. Once a year might be enough if you remember what these sounds sound like after you've sat for a night and done this. And you don't have to sit the whole night. You can sit there from like 1 to 3 or 1 to 2 and listen. Because if there are repeating sounds, you're going to hear them within an hour of each other, probably. You might hear the house settle. You got cracks coming down your walls in your house? Do you have cracks? They kind of zigzag down the side of the wall. Well, guess what? Something ain't right with your foundation. Something's off kilter somewhere. Now, there are companies that can come and jack your house back up with beams and metal poles that they can put up they can level your house back up for you. There's that sort of thing. And there's things that you can detect, like on your ceiling. You've got brown spots on that white ceiling. Well, something caused that. It didn't just get there that way. Now you need to find out why it's suddenly dark brown or blackish looking, because if you don't find out, I guarantee you most of that's going to be water from somewhere. And if you're letting it just continue to drip that way, you're going to have mold, and the mold will spread. Mold is bad about spreading into a ceiling or areas like that, or walls. You don't want that, because you got real trouble if you start getting mold. You'll have to have specialists come in and take care of that for you. Okay, listen to your house. It may creak. It may hear a thumping, knocking sound. That don't necessarily mean that's a ghost. It could be pipes rattling. We have tremendous water pressure where I live. We're on a hilltop, and there is a great big city-owned water tower about a quarter of a mile up on the same hill where we live. And boy, that water pressure will knock you down. Our hose pipes have no trouble washing second-story windows, I'll tell you that. It's like it's anxious to come out of that hose pipe. All right, well, now, what's this got to do with security? Well, if you sit there and listen to all these noises, and you get to where you know which end of the house these noises are coming from, and you know what they sound like, the different particular noises, you're going to know what's natural to that house and what is strangely could be somebody breaking in or a ghost. I'm not going to argue about ghost with you. You either are aware of what negative energy entities can do, or you don't know and you don't care. So I'm not going to argue that with you. You just figure it out. We're talking about noises and security. If things happen in your house, all right, there's only a few causes. It could be poltergeist. You know what that is. I can't go into everything, but poltergeist, disobedient young'uns that are pulling stunts to get your attention. That's two. You could have unruly neighbors' children coming in and doing things when you're not aware or you're not there at the house. Especially if your kids let them in. They may take things and you don't know it's even gone till days later. Anything's possible like that. So your situation depends on what can happen in your house, how old you are, and if you got children or grandchildren or whatever. You know, don't blame everything on a burglar because you don't know yet. Not until now you've studied your house and you know the sounds and you've listened to it. Then you can start making some evaluations. But until you take that time to do that, you're just guessing. People that come to repair houses. Now, have you not noticed that one of the questions they ask you is, well, you heard, what did it sound like? Now you're better prepared to talk to him intelligently about that if you have sat and listened to your house for a couple of hours, or 1 hour at least. Choose your time. 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., when everything is quiet outside in the neighborhood and there's not traffic noise to confuse you. And, you know, pick a silent, quiet time to listen to your house. And it will talk to you. It'll tell you something. I've never been in any house that didn't say something. They've all got a little story to tell if you'll listen to them. So you need to do that to get familiarized with your surroundings in your dwelling place so that you know what's natural to that place. Okay, there's things. Now we get into the Little Miss Super Ninja part. Alright, what if you detect that there is somebody in your house? Well, let's say you left your cell phone in the living room and that's where the noise is coming from. You can't get to your cell phone now. It's on charge on the charger in the living room. What are you going to do then? And most homes don't have a landline anymore. You know, the landline. Those have all been discontinued. Well, what if... There's a lot of ifs. So, rather than trying to go through every one of them, what would just boil it down to this? You're alone in the house at night. You're a single dweller. You don't have any roommates or friends or uncles or mom and dad or nobody. It's just you. Now, it's recommended that you don't sleep with a loaded pistol under your pillow. It's recommended that you don't do that. I think everybody recommends that you don't do that, including the NRA in them. They say that's not good because, and I live, like I said, I do live with a retired sheriff's deputy. He said that the reason you don't do it is if you wake up in the middle of the night and there really is somebody in the house, it could be a family member that's gotten sick or something, and they're trying to get into your room to get your attention to take them to the hospital or something. And if you reach under the pillow and pull a pistol out, you could just discharge it right there in their face without, you're half asleep, right? You're half asleep. You don't even know, you really don't know who you're pointing it at. Now, and especially if the lights are all out, you don't have a night light on or nothing. That's the reasoning behind that. You don't want situations like that. So, now what you want to do is have it available if you've got one. But if it's an automatic, if it's an automatic pistol, semi-automatic, that they don't really have, there ain't many fully automatic pistols around. They don't make such animals anymore, hardly. Well, you can get them, but most people don't have those. Don't chamber the bullet. Leave the bullet where you still got to rack it and get it ready. That's one thing. And if it is a family member and they see you do that, they got time to get out of your way. Now, another thing. I sleep with a wide array of weaponry. I don't call it an arsenal. It's not that big. It don't need to be that big. But if I fall on the floor, I got something there, ready. If I hear them in time, and they're down the hallway, I got something ready for them. I'm not going to go into details because I don't want you knowing what I have ready, but you want to stop them as close to the living room and front doorway as you can. You don't want to wait till they get to your bedroom. Ideally, you don't want to wait that long, unless you just enjoy wrestling. I ain't trying to make light of it, but this is in this situation, you want to deter them from even coming down the hallway toward the bedrooms. Most bedrooms have a hallway because they're connected, and you got to have a hallway to get to them. The hallway is where you trap them if they've already gotten in the house. The hallway's a neat killing zone if you got to have a killing zone, because with whatever it is you're going to stick out your bedroom door down that hallway, you've got a clear path about that far, and they can't run to the left or right. They're trapped right in the middle of the hallway, and that's where you want them if you're going to have to pull the trigger on them, where they can't dodge you. Now, let's say you've got 3 or 4 people. It's a home invasion. Well, that could be a little rough. Now, how would you handle a home invasion? Well, I can tell you this. I mean, it's something I have practiced what I would do. You got a big cardboard box or something? Or something, or I don't know, you could use a bed cover or something. If it's a home invasion and there's 2 or 3 of them coming, they're probably not going to back off if you say, I've got a gun. They probably won't, because you've done something or you've got something in the house like drugs that they want. And buddy boy, they're coming for it. Or it wouldn't. Most home invasions don't just happen. Somebody has talked. You've got a gun stash, you've got a big amount of cash stashed in your house, or you've got drugs stashed in your house. And they've heard about it. And they're coming for it. And they want it. Now, sometimes they could get the wrong address, and here you are stuck in a situation you didn't ask for. Get you a big cardboard box, something like a water heater. Comes shipped in a cardboard box, a water heater, something like that. Something that you can get inside of and lay flat on the floor, and somebody will just think it's a package laying there. They will not even suspect it. A human being's laying inside that cardboard box. They won't even think about that. Now you're laying there in the hallway floor. All right, let's, just for argument's sake, let's say you've got a 12 gauge pump inside that box with you. Now you heard them break in on the other side of the house. You had time to get up and evaluate, yeah, it really is a break-in. You take this cardboard box, it's folded up at the moment. You unfold it, because you can collapse them, on two ends. They collapse into like just two edges, and you can stack that thing up somewhere. Open that thing up, climb in, put it down over the top of you, go out there in the hallway and lay down in the floor. Just lay flat in the floor in that box. You're going to escape their visual track. They're looking for somebody standing up, coming out of some doorway. That's what they're looking for. You're sitting there ready to blow their ankles and balls off. You're laying there, ready. They got no idea. Honey Bunny's about to blow their balls off, and they got no idea who's sitting there with a 12 gauge pointed right at their balls. You sure, if you're a burglar, you sure you want to break in places? Because once I teach this, once I put this out there, people are going to start learning. And this ain't just for transgender, this is for everybody. If you break into another person's house, you deserve exactly what you get. Lady Karma's going to come visit you one of these days, if she hadn't already. Yeah, she will blow your ass off. You got no right to violate somebody else's space. I don't care how there's soup kitchens that will feed you, okay? You don't hand me that shit. Soup kitchens will feed you. You say, well, I want better than that. Well, then go earn it. Don't go breaking in people's houses. You get what you deserve if you do. So, I just taught half the nation, once they get sharing this video, how to knock a team of burglars off their feet. You ain't gonna like what happens. And I know how to engineer such booby traps you would not ever want to get in my house. You would not want to do that. I don't keep them all engaged. They're pliable. I can use them as I want to, how I want to. I've got sound sensors in my yard that can tell me, and I live where there's a lot of deer. I can tell when the deer are walking through my yard. Sound sensors. I don't. I mean, I don't. I don't always have them on. Don't need them on all the time. But I know if somebody's walking through my yard, I can hear them. And as far as ADT and their systems go, they got good stuff. That's true. It's expensive. The more of it you add, the more you're going to pay a month. But if you want to do that, and you got the money for it, I recommend that. Yeah, but not everybody's got that kind of money. And I've used up 25 of my 30 minutes here, trying to think if I'm leaving out anything. This is an important tape, because if you do what I'm telling you to do, you're not going to be caught by surprise very much. I'm not saying you won't get caught by surprise, but it ain't going to happen often. You're going to know what's going on around your dwelling. And remember, it is your dwelling space. It's not the burglars. So you owe him no favors. And there aren't that many women burglars. There are a few, but not many. But I'm going to tell you, most people, whether they're hunting or if they're hunting, they're looking at eye level. They very seldom look right down on the ground in front of them. And they very seldom look up in the treetops. Way above you and way below you are the two areas where, if you're waiting to ambush somebody like I would, and I am an ambusher. I ain't gonna give you first chance. I just won't. And most burglars are not looking down at the floor. They're looking around them to see what they want next. Or if they're home invaders, they're looking for people, because they know the people know where that stash of cash is, or they know the people know where those drugs are hidden, and they want to find the people so they can get the information out of them where this stuff is. They don't want to have to go rummaging through the whole house to find it. That's why you're safer laying on the floor inside of a long cardboard box. You're out of sight. They're not looking for you there. You've got the first opportunity. They've already broken your house. So they've lost their protection right there when they came in. Now it's just up to you. And you know what? Now, I've heard people talk against this, but I like automatic shotguns, semi-automatic shotguns. Now, I know people like that pump action. Well, the hell with that pump action. I want something that'll go as fast as I can repoint. I don't want to have to fool with that. So, go get you a Benelli shotgun or something that's an automatic, Browning automatic or something that's you don't have to keep pumping it to get the next shell up. It's just right there for you. If you got 3 people coming down the hall, you want to have to go to racket every time? You think that's fun in a situation like that? I don't think it would be. I ain't been in that situation yet, and I don't want to be in it. An automatic shotgun is definitely the way to go to repel burglars. Yeah. So, anyway, Alright, it's 30 minutes. Just turned 30 minutes. Alright. That's all for this video. Wish I could help you with more, but I cut them off at 30 minutes. That's about all I had for this anyway. Study your home, listen to it, and know what's natural to your house. And that way you'll know what's not natural sounds to listen for. Okay? All right, bye. Let me shut this off.